Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to a frenetic, frenzied day at the Poor Parenting Podcast Studios. Good Lord, it has been a day. But thanks for listening to another episode of A Guide to Poor Parenting, a podcast where me, Jason,
and me, Jennifer,
have a few drinks
and talk shit about our kids.
Please follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Guide to Poor Parenting.
And Twitter, Facebook, TikTok at Poor Parent Pod.
Woo!
All right, well, let's go with you with your frenetic... I don't even remember what the other F word you said was, but how has your week been, Jason?
Okay. Today's just been a bit crazy.
Our week, sorry.
Yeah. My week has been a bit insane, and I suspect we're going to be interrupted by my granddaughter's knocking on the door in just a minute.
Possibly.
Yeah. My Jennifer and I were going to record yesterday, but my son was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go pick up Kiki." I was like, "Son of a bitch!" Love having her out, but it's like, okay, how are we gonna record? So right now, Jennifer and I are crammed into my little office and trying to get as far away from each other so our microphones don't bleed into each other.
Yeah.
And so if it's
hope that babies don't come stomping downstairs and knocking on doors and Papa, Auntie Jay.
Yeah. I can't understand you, but I want something.
Yeah.
But yeah, week's been okay. I had a touch of insomnia on Wednesday, and then I got about an hour's sleep. And it's weird how kids can make you lose your... I mean, I think that's why you're on your sleep medication, aren't you? Because Wesley was making you like insane and you couldn't sleep.
No, mine was because of my ADHD and the apparently girls, their ADHD, even if I don't think I have the H part of it, she said you do because my hyperactivity is in my brain and I can't shut my brain off to go to sleep. So I'm on sleep medicine for that.
But you before that you slept well, didn't you? Sleep pretty good.
It was off and on. I didn't always get the best sleep, and I never knew why. Especially if I got woke up, like, in the middle of the night, and then I would just start thinking about random shit. And I mean, when I say random shit, it's like, who was that actor in that movie that one time?
Yeah, you start doom cycling and you can't get out of it.
Or I wake up because I'm dreaming about work, and then I'm thinking, oh, I got to email so-and-so tomorrow, and then it just spirals from there. And Wesley right now is not taking his sleep medicine like he should, like I tell him to, because it takes a minute to kick in. So he's running around the house and he makes the cameras go off and makes the dogs bark. So sometimes that does wake me up. But last night I took my medicine. I laid in the bed. I was watching a TV show on my phone. And I woke up before the alarm, but I was in the same position as I went to bed in, earbuds still in my ear. My phone was dead because I didn't even put it on the charger. And when I went back to the show that I was watching, I realized I'd only watched 10 minutes of it. So like sleep. I knocked out, and we had 2 times where the not Amber Alert, but like the weather alerts went off where it makes your phone do that loud noises. 2 times for tornado watches or warnings. I can't remember which because I just saw them when I woke up, but I slept through all that. If it rained or thundered or if a tornado hit my house, I probably would have slept through it all.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think I really needed it because it's been a very bad, long week with him. So, but yeah, that's why I take my sleep medication. But kids, you were talking about kids, about maybe with your insomnia.
Well, yeah, because my insomnia tends to... I will get into like I know it triggers it. It's I will start thinking of a scenario that made me mad and is unresolved, like when George Floyd died. I started doom cycling because I was like, what would happen if it happened to Justin? And, I just started dreaming up these scenarios and it would get my adrenaline pumping and I couldn't stop thinking about it.
Right.
And so.
And you can't sleep if your adrenaline's pumping because it's hyping you up in a bad way.
Yeah. And that particular night was, I was doing it in regards to Wesley. He had made me mad and I was like, how can I hurt him without leaving bruises and there's no witnesses? And I actually came up with a few disturbing ones, but yeah, it was, and then I just had a hard time. Like, I was like, okay, so I got up and then I took a melatonin and didn't do anything. And then, and normally it does if I'm not like getting into that cycle.
Right. Well, and it also takes from what I read on the package, it takes like 30 minutes to an hour to kick in. So you're supposed to take it a good while before you go to bed. So that way you start feeling the effects.
Sometimes if I'm starting to like not feel sleepy, like Zay and I will go to bed around 10. And if I'm not feeling it and I've been laying in bed for like 20, 30 minutes and I still not feeling it, I will go take one, lay there for a bit, and it usually will like kick in enough that I can go, like I'll play on my phone for like 15, 20 and then it kicks in and I go to sleep.
There you go.
But not that night. And the next day I was a bitch at work. God, I was a bitch.
You were tired.
I was so tired.
Your co-workers were pissing you off.
Yeah. Well,
it happens.
And then but then the next night I took Kalia to Kumon for her math tutoring, and she was in there for an hour, so I just kind of laid the chair back and took a little nap.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm. And then when we got home, I was like, I didn't even eat dinner because I really wasn't that hungry, so I was like, I'm gonna I took a muscle relaxant because those usually knock me out.
Uh-huh.
And Zane let me borrow his eye mask massager thingy.
Okay.
And I didn't think I just thought I just laid there, but he's like, oh no, you were snoring. I was like, I didn't think so. But I got up again around 10:30 because I was like, I'm not sleepy. So I took a lorazepam and I knocked my ass out. So
there you go.
But yeah, it was, ugh. And I'm still a little sleepy today. I had to take a nap today, but I'll hopefully get over it soon because it sucks. I hate insomnia.
And it's hard to take a nap when you have a 2 and a 4-year-old running around with an 11-year-old who likes to stomp and not walk right, and then your daughter chasing the kids around, and then.
Oh yeah, and I have 4 and with Alea in there too. It's like I have 4 very loud black women in my house that scream a lot, and I love them all.
And then
God, they're loud.
On the weekends, a very loud white girl.
Yeah. So yeah, it was. I did get a little bit of a nap, but I'm still feeling a little bit right now. We are recording this super late in the day, so
than we normally do. Yeah.
Yeah, and I right before we started, I was like, "Holy shit, this is after 5:30." So let me call Zane real quick. I was like, "You gotta thaw out things, and you gotta take it over," because I'm we're on the struggle bus today.
Right. Yeah.
And So my week's been tired but good. Oh. I had my second therapy session.
Yeah.
So that was good. Although it was the day after my insomnia, and his office was warm and his couch was comfy, and I was looking at him like a zombie. I was just like, oh.
That blank stare, this is just comfortable, and I'm about to fall asleep. I'm sorry.
But I will say he did the reason I got a therapist is because I'm trying to focus on some of my personal goals, and with the podcast, I really think the reason we'll be able to keep it up is because I've got you to help me keep accountable.
Right.
And so I don't for my other goals, my career goals. I make a good living, so I don't if I never made any more than I did right now, I would be fine.
Yeah, definitely.
But I have my own personal goals I would like to achieve, and I've got I'm not so I've got goals I want to achieve, and I want to start writing again for the comedy, but I have a hard time doing stuff for myself sometimes. So
right.
That's why I was like, let me see if I can get someone who helped me figure out my priorities, come up with a way to accomplish them,
keep you accountable.
Mm-hmm. So that's what and I was glad I met with him because he gave me 4 things to do, and I was starting to add on to it. He's like, I think you've got enough because you're pretty busy.
Yeah.
So
Well, and then you're going back to the gym.
yeah.
So that's another thing that you're doing.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, I can do 5 days a week." He's like, "Why don't we just shoot for 2 for this next week?"
Just try. I mean, you don't. Yeah, that's jumping kind of.
Yeah, and I do that a lot. I'll be like, get gung ho, and then I burn myself out pretty quickly.
Yeah, so that's smart. Yeah, and then you always, and with the comedy thing, you also have to have your inspiration, like your ideas of like what you would like to talk about, and if you're so tired or so busy, then it's really hard to, even just if you were able to go sit somewhere and have a pen and paper, piece of paper to like write some stuff down, because it's like, I have no inspiration. I'm thinking about all this other stuff. Why am I here? I could be doing X, Y, and Z. So that doesn't help things. So
and one of his suggestions that I was really happy with, where he's like, why don't you see if you can find either an online group that you can start meeting with and how they can help you keep accountable, like an online writing group.
Okay.
Where it's just a bunch of comedians, we meet online, maybe Zoom, and we like work on material together, like every so often.
Right.
Because I've heard of them.
I didn't know that existed, so that's cool.
They were kind of a COVID thing.
I got you.
But I was like, that's a good idea. And another idea was like, the thing I liked most about every creative endeavor I have, like with this, what I do with you, is that I get to talk, interact, and have relations with people.
Right.
So I was like, I think if I just go to pick an open mic once a week to go to
watch,
just to watch and make friends.
Right.
I think I will find my comedy version of you, someone to help me keep accountable,
right,
so I can work with.
Were you trying to say I'm not funny?
But you have no passion for comedy, and I'm
just a funny motherfucker. I don't have to have the passion for it.
You're an angry motherfucker.
I'm an angry, funny motherfucker. How about that? Does that work?
Sure.
But but see, my comedy is from growing up, so mine isn't, I could sit down and write a set.
Yeah.
Like, I feed off of people, so my comedy is the
reacting
zingers, or just like coming back at you with something.
Yeah.
So I know my comedy. I would never want to go on stage and talk, because unless I would be like, okay, I need all the hecklers to throw shit at me, and then I'm just going to get you back. Don't get mad, kind of thing. So, no, I understand completely. I was just being silly,
I know. But I think
that would help, I think.
Yeah, I think, and a lot of it, too, is like, if I could help someone, like, because if they're working on their set, too, I'm like, give them ideas, then it just improves, what do they say? Metal sharpens metal.
Yeah.
So, like, if you can find someone to sharpen my skills with.
Right, and then if you find a good
group of
friends, or even just like a couple people that kind of have the same sense of humor as you, because you kind of have to have that.
Yeah.
Because you can't have one person have dry and then the other one have nasty, because, that won't help you get ideas, I think. But I think you can do it. And Shenanigans, they always have their like open mic nights and their different things like that. So I think that'd be good for you.
Yeah. So I feel pretty good. So that's how my week's been. How about yours, Miss Jennifer? Stressful?
Oh my God. So stressful. To
sum it up, Wesley's behavior's getting a little bit worse.
A lot worse. For some reason, he is now deciding to like eat in the middle of the night and go outside to eat, and then go back inside and then eat in his room, which I'm like, why don't you just do it all in the room and not go outside when it's raining or 30 degrees? And he has like sleep medicine, and I give him 2 melatonin every night, and I try to make him take it like 30 minutes before bed. And I don't know what's going on with this child. So, like, the dogs bark when he's walking around the house, and then the cameras go off. Like, I mean, they just kind of make a buzzing noise on my phone. I sometimes hear it, I sometimes don't, just because
You have your
I'm
own
on
sleep
all
medication.
that I'm
Yeah.
on all that sleep medication. But it's just it's frustrating. And then he decided to refuse to go to school this week.
Mm-hmm.
He's mad at me because he's still grounded from all of the shit he's put me through, and him having very, very bad grades. Like, he had a 0 in one class, and then a 0.73, a 0.42, he had a 42 in something. And he's like, they're not all zeros. I was like, a 0.73 is still a 0, Wesley. And a 42 is still an F.
Yeah.
So you're flunking. So you do not need, because he's like, I need my laptop. I just want to come home, take a shower, eat, and chill with my laptop. And I'm like, no, because you're not doing your schoolwork. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
And then you're sneaking your laptop, because when you pick him, you've been having to pick him up for me. And he's been, I don't know if Boys and Girls Club or school or what, but he's been sneaking. I think I've dropped off probably 10 laptops in a month.
Yeah, we had
that we've
4
found.
floating around here at one time.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I've told, like, the first thing I told, don't let him have a loaner. He has his laptop. And they don't listen. And then this whole bus thing, because when he got, I don't know if the audience knows, but he got disciplinary action for fighting, and he got sent to an alternative school.
He got expelled from his middle
Yeah.
school.
I was trying to put it a nicer way, but
I don't think we've talked about this
I
yet.
don't think we have.
Yeah.
And so he's in an alternative school now. And at the meeting, they're like, yeah, we'll provide transportation. Well, I ask every week, and then because I have to drop off his medicine sometimes, or drop off those laptops, or whatever. And one day I was there, and there was the coordinator, I guess, like, for the bus was there. He's like, oh yeah, they'll get to you today. Heard nothing. So I finally got the bus's number, and she's like, I think he just fell through the cracks.
Oh, no shit.
So she said she's going to talk to the bus driver on Tuesday to route him in the route for the bus. And it could take up to 2 weeks.
Oh, God.
So I was like, I can't. I asked work, actually, because I know I felt so frustrated with it. And I didn't, like, I could feel that you were frustrated about it. And I was like, work, I need to take my annual leave, and I'm going to pick him up at Jason's. I'm going to take him to school, and then I'm going to go pick him up from school and take him to the Boys and Girls Club. Y'all got to figure out how I can do this. And then we had a talk, and you were like, I'm okay with taking him so that you can go work out. So I was like, okay, well, that helps with that part of it. And then you came up with a good idea to help your son pick him up from school and take him to the Boys and Girls Club. So you don't have to, I don't have to, and hopefully it'll be just for a couple of weeks. But then I can also help your son by giving him some money.
Yeah.
Because he has a baby. Babies are expensive.
Yes, they are.
And so I asked him last night, and I was like, hey, question, you don't have to do it, but if I pay you, will you please go get Wesley from school, take him to the Boys and Girls Club, and that's all I need you to do. And he was like, yeah, I can do that. And he was like, you don't have to pay me. And I'm like, but I'm going to. Is $25 a week okay? And he was like, yeah, but you don't have to. I did it for Jason when he couldn't do it. And I'm like, I understand that, but gas. And you're doing me a huge favor, and this is what I wanted.
Yeah.
So he was like, thank you. Because he's so sweet, and he has tried so hard with Wesley to talk to him about, like, everything. And Wesley's 14th birthday is coming up, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just, last 2 years have just been really, really bad. And I'm just trying to hang in there because everyone's like, it's gonna get better, it's gonna get better. And I, second by second, sometimes, especially on weekends, I just try to breathe and put my ears in and try not to listen because I would love to have conversations with him. But his conversations are like Friday when I picked him up from school. The coach, I have to like sign him out. The coach was like, Wesley got into, he was horse playing with a girl and it got a little extra, so I had to break him up. And then he comes in and he's like, she was pulling my hair and I told her not to. And then I think it was either she pushed him or he pushed her. And then he's like, I picked her up and I picked her up and her feet were off the floor and I could have slammed her, but God was with me and I didn't do that, but I could have beat her up. And I'm like, why are you sounding so proud about beating up a girl? And he's like, well, she's the kind of girl that likes to beat up boys. And I'm like, leave. Like, I don't understand how many times I've told you over the 5 years now I've had you, if something is happening, go tell somebody and then just stay by them. So if that girl comes up to you and messes with you again, guess what? They're right there. She ain't gonna do it.
That's true.
And he just doesn't understand that. He thinks he's the biggest, baddest child in the world. Well, he doesn't think he's a child, but he is. And I'm like, really? And this is kind of joking, but kind of not. I really think that another kid his age needs to whoop his ass. Like, drop him down all these pegs that he thinks he's the biggest, baddest.
Well, when the fight that he got expelled from his middle school from, he was been bragging about it. He's like, oh, I was able to take him down.
Like, as soon as we walked out of the meeting after the expulsion, them telling us we'll call you was, I told you I could fight. And I'm like, you know what? I don't like to say shut up, but I just looked at him and I was like, shut up. If that's what you got out of this, when now you possibly are going to a whole nother school and I have to figure this out, and they have a dress code and I have to go out and buy more clothes because it's a uniform, you should say, I'm sorry, Mom.
You crazy woman.
I mean, but, like, I know. Because he won't.
Nope.
He only says sorry when he wants something.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So, I don't know. But yeah, so that's been my week. I will say, Valentine's Day, I don't have a Valentine.
Oh, I'll be your Valentine.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
But work, we did a little potluck, and then we were all supposed to spend about $5 on like a present, and you can't really buy anything for $5 anymore. So it turned out like most people spent probably $10 to $20,
right.
You know? And we were playing this game, and Caitlin, one of my coworkers, she had these little strips of paper, and it would be like, who dresses the best? And then you would go give your bag to the person who you thought dressed the best.
Oh, okay.
And some of them were funny. Some of them were sweet. But when it came to my turn, I really wanted my boss's present because she got this like Walmart. It was a
basket,
like not saran wrap, but the plastic wrap, and then they shook it up, you know, kind of thing. But it was all Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. And I love Jack and Sally, so I was like, I want that. So I don't even know what my thing said. I was just like, here, I want that. Oh, mine was, give your basket to someone who's shorter than you. Well, guess who's the tallest out of everybody in the whole department? It's me.
Yeah,
So,
Jennifer is 5'11" or 6 foot.
5'11 3/4. So we say 6 foot because I used to be over 6 foot, but I've shrunk in my age. So I still like to say I'm 6 foot, even though I'm kind of lying, but I'm really, really close.
She's a tall lady.
Yes. And so I got it, and then I saw that there were like decals and stickers and a notebook in it, and I was like, Kalia. So I ended up with a cup.
Yeah.
That's out of the whole thing.
Was there candy at least in it?
There was no candy at all. I thought there was candy because it had a heart-shaped like thing, so I thought that was a candy, like a candy. No candy. So Kalia got a heart-shaped box to keep stuff in.
Okay.
Stickers, a notebook, and I want to say there's something else.
Okay.
And then I just told her, I was like, look here, I'm giving you this heart-shaped box. Stuff better be in it. I'm going to check because Grandpa's going to kick my butt if I give you something and it just sits in your floor and you're not doing anything with it. And then she looked at me like she was going to cry. I'm like, no. You've done this before. So you just have to make sure that you do this for Auntie J because I like giving you stuff, but I don't want to get in trouble for giving you stuff. So I thought that was kind of cute, though.
She got upset about that?
Well, I mean, like me saying,
No.
make sure you keep stuff in it because she does have a tendency to
hoard.
hoard.
Yeah.
And I did not want her not to have anything in it and it just sit there. And her not do anything. Like, I'm like, I want you to use this, not just keep it.
Yeah, that has always been my biggest gripe with her is she just keeps shit. She'll do something at like an art camp, like she'll draw a banner, she'll wad it up, put it in the corner of her room, never touch it, and like, can we just please throw this away? No, we can't throw it away because it's so important to me. I'm like, girl, you did this 6 months ago. You haven't touched it. You haven't looked at it.
And it's crumpled up in a corner.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, I had a good Valentine's Day, I think, until I had to go get Wesley, but that's okay.
We don't really care about Valentine's Day, but man, Zane loves half off chocolate day next day.
Well, I mean, he loves any holiday, next day at half off. He does it for every holiday.
Valentine's Day this year is a Friday. We get to sleep in on Saturdays because Kalia, she's likes to sleep in too.
Yep.
He set an alarm for 8 o'clock so we could go to Kroger's and get that candy. That man loves him some chocolate. He's like, oh, I want it. But he's sweet. He got his mom like a couple of hearts for her, and we gave them to
sweet.
Yeah, we gave them to her this morning.
That's
Although
sweet.
we showed up to the brunch this morning with his mom, and she was like, she was giving him grief for not calling. He's like, I call you, and she's like, yeah, when Jason reminds you. It's like,
True.
It's true.
It's very true.
All right, Ms. J. Well, now we know. Now everyone knows our business.
Yeah, that was a lot. Sorry, guys.
What are we drinking today?
All right, so we are drinking wine that you got with your gift card for Costco. Mm-hmm. It is a 2021. It's from the Klinker Brick Winery. Mm-hmm. And it's an old vine Zinfandel.
Yeah, give me a little more, actually.
And usually the back will tell you kind of like notes and hints of stuff, but it's like you drink it and figure it out yourself.
It's pretty good. Sorry if the we're moving the mics around so Jennifer can fill me up again. Thank you, love. It's pretty good. I like it. It's like when we did if you listen to the podcast, we do a cocktail review that we post on TikTok and YouTube Shorts and all that shit. And it was pretty dry, but it's mellowing out the longer I drink it.
And maybe because we're like airing it out too, because we open it up and then we go try it right away on our videos, and I was just like, oh my god, my mouth is dry.
I mean, it's still kind of dry, but I think I'm getting used to it now, so I'm liking it more.
Good.
What do you think about it?
I've only had a couple sips because I felt like I was talking a lot. So, and I had a bit of a headache, so I was drinking my my Mexican Coke to try to help with that. So I've only had a couple sips, but it's growing on me. The more sips that I'm taking, and then knowing that, like, I guess now it's like been out in the air and we're just sitting here and it's not in front of a camera, which sometimes, I don't like being on camera. Yeah. And so that, like, trying to smell it and talk about, taste notes of cherry. I can never think of shit like that, and I can't taste none of that stuff, so. I
do think I'm tasting a little plum in there. I don't know.
It doesn't say anything, so you just make up whatever the fuck you want to make up. No, I mean, I guess someone could call in or write in and be like, "Nah, it ain't plum.
You dumb motherfucker.
It's apricot or whatever."
When you mentioned that, I'm going to check the email real quick, see if our dedicated listeners, Benjamin, just write in. Even if you don't have anything to say, just cuss us out or something. I don't care.
Just say hi, shit. Email, and then hi.
Now, well, I did get an email from Patreon because I looked into starting a Patreon.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There you go.
There's the receipt for the hosting service.
There you go. Well, I guess this is a good time to take a little break.
Yep.
We'll be right back, guys.
And we're back.
Did you miss us?
I missed y'all.
Oh my gosh.
With every bullet so far.
That is very true. You've tried to shoot me a few times, I'm sure.
Have you ever... you're in your early 40s. You've shot a gun, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a really cool picture of me at the shooting range. And the lady took the picture, like, right when the bullet was kind of coming out. And it had, like, the... It wasn't like fire, but it was kind of like...
explosion coming out of the barrel.
Yeah. And I think that is a really cool picture.
Huh.
Yeah. But I've... Not often, but I've probably shot different guns probably 4 times in my life. I was offered a shotgun once and I was like, fuck you. I
don't want to saw off the barrel.
I'm not a very strong upper body girl. Like you do, I got good leg power, but I do not have upper body strength. And I do not want that bruise for that kickback. So, no.
I took Justin to a shooting range in Texas one time when he was probably 18 or 19 for, I don't know if it was his birthday, but I just took him there because I was like, we'll go, because there was one near my mom's old house.
Yeah.
That was, Jennifer knows this from seeing me at movies, but I'm a big old baby when it comes to like jump scares. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, I'm clutching the pearls. And I had ear protection on. Mm-hmm. I have never been so on edge the entire time because those explosions I hated it. It was so stressful. And I shot the gun, but I was like, I do not enjoy this.
Yeah.
Every time I did, my muscles just clamped up. I was like, oh, I don't like this.
And that's not good because, yeah.
But Justin loved it.
Because you're not supposed to squeeze the trigger. You're supposed to pull it, which I never really understood because it's kind of doing the same thing, but...
Yeah, I did. Yeah, Justin loved it. He's like, I find it relaxing. I was like, fuck you, kid.
And a lot of people do.
Oh, not me. That noise, just, I hated it. Yeah. Anyway, but the reason I ask is because the other place I shot at was at Boy Scout camp, and that's our subject for today.
Oh, that's right. Yep. Yeah, our topic of discussion is camp.
Yeah. So if you were a rich spoiled kid who got to go to summer camps,
I guess that's kind of. Or got scholarships for them that, you got to be the poor kid around all the rich kids or whatever.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out what to talk about because, Jennifer's like, what about spring break? We haven't talked about that. And I was like, yeah, we can do that. I don't think we may have talked about it before, but, most of these topics, I think we're going to have to go around second time.
Yeah. Well, the only reason why I thought about it is because it's coming up next month.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, literally a month before spring break, and I just signed Klee up for City of Huntsville. I will say I love the City of Huntsville for some of its offerings. I wish it had more, but they have 5 or 6 recreational centers around town, and they offer spring break camps, fall break camps, and summer camps.
Yep.
And they're cheap as fuck.
Yep.
I mean, for the whole week for Clea to go to the Huntsville City Rec Center spring camp is $50.
Yeah.
And it's from 8 a.m. to 5.
Yeah. And they got all kinds of activities.
Mm-hmm.
And especially that the one on Richard Showers had a pool there, so they could just go swimming there, which was really good.
And
but
I wish they just don't offer, like, there's only so many rec centers, and they literally have like 10 slots per rec center.
right.
So
it's real. You have to be like first
Johnny on the spot.
Yeah.
And I got up early and did it, and I got her in, thank God.
I think it was fall break last year. You were trying, and you couldn't even get through at first to try, and then you finally, and they're like, oh, we're full.
Yeah.
Wesley does Boys and Girls Club, so they're 8 to 5 too. So he just goes there. Because that's just he's just been there since Blossomwood canceled 6th grade after school care. So he's been going there for 2 years now. So
yeah, Kalia's gonna age out. She's finishing up 5th grade this year, so I don't know. I'm not super enthused about Boys and Girls Club. They're convenient, but I don't know. She really doesn't want to go, so I'm debating, but we'll see. I might tell her, like, if your grades decline, I'll send you there. If you can keep your grades up, you can come home. I'll pick you up.
Or maybe find another one.
Yeah. I don't know.
If you want to spend the money.
Yeah, that's kind of... I'm cheap ass when I want to be, so...
Because Boys and Girls Club is $65 a week. But, like, on spring break and, like, all the breaks, they're only 8 to 5. And you have to pay for all the activities.
Yeah.
So they go skating, they go to the trampoline park.
They go to roller skating usually.
That's what I meant by skating.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that part.
And one more thing, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But as bad as he's been, I don't let him do that. He just takes boys.
Bad motherfucker. We were talking about camps, and I was like,
Excuse me.
Justin and Wesley both did. So for our listening audience who's been here a while, Jennifer and I both not adopted, but we went through the adoptive resource training program through a nonprofit in Alabama called APAC. It's what is it? Alabama Pre and Post Adoption Center or something like that. I don't know what the C stands for.
I don't remember.
But it is basically to help people who before and after they've adopted, and we love them. They're great. They offer a summer camp, a week-long summer camp. Mm-hmm. And when I got Justin, they let him go. It was he was going to age out before, they snuck him in somehow, and I was so grateful. And we drove all the way, and it's like 2 hours away.
Yep.
I don't remember where in Alabama. It's like central Alabama.
It's like near Wetumpka. Yeah.
Well, somewhere in central Alabama, I'm not sure where. But it was about 2 hours away, and I drove him there. And we pull up, he's like, do I still have to go? I was like, motherfucker, get out of my car. I did not drive 2.5 hours to change your mind.
Yeah.
So, but he had a good time.
Yeah.
And he rode the bus back, and he had I think he wanted to be a counselor next year because there was a girl he was interested in.
Always a girl.
Always a girl.
Yeah. Wesley's...
He's done it twice.
You had to do it, so there's an age limit to it.
And they've changed it, too.
Yeah, they did change it. It was, when he was there, I think it was, like, 10 or 11. I can't remember which one. But when I guess it was 10. Yeah. Yeah.
He's 14 now. He's done it He's done it 3 times or twice?
Twice. So he got qualified and then COVID hit.
Oh yeah, that's
so
right.
They didn't do it, but they sent a box. So it was like camp in a box.
Right.
And then the next year he got to go and got on the bus, got down there and had a great time. I didn't get any calls that he got in trouble, so if he did, they didn't really care.
Well, I think they're since they're used to servicing adoptive kids, they're used to their fucked up behavior.
Yeah, and what's really cool is that a lot of the kids that age out they go back and be counselors.
Yeah.
So they've been in the system. They know. And then they can help or understand why the kid's doing what the kid's doing or whatever, the situation is. So he did it 11 and 12.
Okay. So I picked
12 and 13.
Yeah, I don't remember because I remember
he's 13 right now, so he would have been 13 in the summertime.
Yeah.
So yeah, 12 and 13, he got to do it. So
okay, because I know I picked him up a few times from the camp.
From the bus
when they bring him back.
Yeah, and then that situation that was just crazy because they're like, oh yeah, make sure that you're at this spot. It could be a 30-minute wait, and you're messaging me like, have they talked to you? Because I don't see nobody and nothing's happening. No one's here. And I'm like, I haven't heard from anybody. I'm sorry. And it was like, I guess they just got out late, or I don't even know if there was an excuse for it, to be honest. But he always had a really good time. I did not sign him up this year. I missed the deadline because it was yesterday.
Oh, did you not? No.
I didn't. I completely forgot, and just time, slipped by me. So, so he won't be going this year, which I'm okay with because I don't know if you want to say. Who gets to go? So
well, I don't. So what Jennifer's talking about is that I've applied for Kalia to go, but I don't. She's not an adopted child, and I don't know if she'd get the reason we even applied is because one of the services that APAC offers, the nonprofit here in Alabama, they offer is counseling and free counseling, and I've had her in counseling. I was paying for it for a while, but I asked the APAC people, I was like, can she get free counseling since she's,
been in foster care?
And they said, sure. So, and then her counselor was like, you should apply. It doesn't hurt. I was like, okay, I'll try. Yeah. So I applied. I don't know if she'll get in, but if she does, I think she'll have a good time. But I think she'll have a lot better time if Wesley's not there, probably.
And that was kind of another thing. I didn't want them to be on the bus together and it be a whole thing.
Yeah, because they can get on each other's nerves.
They can get on each other's nerves very badly.
Yeah.
And I want her to have a good time. He's already got to do it. And they do only have a certain number of spots, and they also let kids who haven't got to do it before do it. So, I mean, he might not have gotten chosen because he's already done it, technically 3 times. So, it don't hurt my feelings none. I mean, I do kind of like the idea of him being gone for 4 days, but,
Yep.
to give someone else another spot, and to give Kalia, because she would ride the bus and he would be on said bus. Mm-hmm. And
it could be a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. So
yeah. But I will say she, in addition, if she gets to go, she's actually going to go on. She'll have 2 camps this year because her school. So for those of you who remember the 80s movie, Space Camp. There was an 80s movie, and do you remember that stupid robot that came with the Nintendo system, the original Nintendo system, that it would pick up a thing and then move it?
Oh yeah.
Well, apparently that robot from was in the movie and sent the kids into actual space.
Okay.
So the kids, I think the premise of the movie is the kids are in space camp. They're doing a pretend launch, and it actually gets launched into space. I'm like, regardless of the fact that, it's like 1 million gallons of fuel, and they wouldn't have fueled the fucker.
Right.
But yeah, they had the counselors help them get back to Earth.
I gotcha.
Gotcha. So yes, there is a space camp here in Huntsville because we are the Rocket City. Mm-hmm. And my husband actually was a space camp counselor for years. He was. And so her school offers, I think, a discounted rate because I think it's about $1,000 or $1,200 per week to do it. But hers was $600. So I was like, I'll take it.
And she seems really excited about it, which makes me happy.
And I've been telling some of my friends, I'm like, hey, you want to send your kids to space camp? I'll pick them up from the airport and take them. And trying to get Judith, who's been on the podcast, send her little boy. But her little boy, he's 14.
I was about to say, he's a teenager. He ain't no little boy.
But yeah. And this is her first. These will be her first 2 sleepaway camps if she does them.
Yeah.
So, did you ever do sleepaway camps when you were growing up? No.
I never got to go to day camp or like the rec program that you're sending Kalia to, or Boys and Girls Club, or anything but school. Like, I don't even know if they had like after school programs when I was in school.
They probably had something. They may not have one built into the school, but they probably had something.
Like, my mom was always there, so I always just went home. And then in the summertime, just our camps were just us being pretty much locked out of the house, and you go play, and when the street lights come on, you come back.
I mean, that's how I spent a lot of my summers too, especially when I got to probably Kalia's age, 10 or 11.
Yeah.
But I would say, like, I do know we did a day camp when I was a kid, because I have a picture of me and a horse, and I don't, you remember screen printing t-shirts?
Yep.
Have you ever done that before? Vaguely, maybe?
I think maybe in middle school when we went to Six Flags, we might have done a, like, best friends trip or whatever kind of bullshit. Yeah.
Not bullshit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we had, we did we screen printed t-shirts that say Camp Enchantment, and it was in Central Texas, and we got to take a picture with a horse. And I know we did horseback riding. They had horseback riding there.
Okay.
Because my brother got thrown.
Oh. Like bucked off?
I don't know if he got bucked off or he fell off. I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to ask him.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I know he like got thrown. So.
Wow.
Yeah. And he still, like, I think it knocked the wind out of him too. So he's really freaked out by horses now.
Gotcha.
So, but I don't know if I did a Boy Scout camp. I do know that. Mm-hmm. And that was hot as fuck. Because Central Texas in the summer heat and just sleeping in your sweat. Because you're just hot all goddamn night long.
Yeah. Did you have tents or was it cabins?
No, we were tenting.
Okay.
And I was hot as shit.
Yeah. The one that Kalia's going to and that Wesley went to, that one is a cabin.
Yeah.
So I think it's a little
I saw the
heat.
cabins when I went down to take Justin. So.
Yeah. So I think that's a little less hot.
Yeah.
For them, for those, type of camps. But yeah, like I said, I don't even know if Germany ever, like when we were there, I don't know if they provided anything. I think it was just pretty much, again, just go outside and play with your friends until... Well, and I don't even know if there were streetlights, to be honest, in the little village that we lived in, but I think it was when you started getting hungry for dinner.
Yeah.
And we were talking about it the other day, and I was like, I remember drinking out of hoses.
I did that too.
But I do not remember where our lunches came from. So I don't know if, like, the parents got together and, like, one day this parent would feed us and the next this parent would feed us, or...
I'm betting it was probably just, like, you were hanging out with your friend and you would just go to someone's house and that parent would feed you.
I mean, it had to be something because there was a good group of us that just played. Hell, we might have just skipped lunch and just drank water and then, was ready for dinner. I mean, I can't remember.
Yeah.
So.
I'm trying to think. I'm always amazed how expensive they are. Like, all the camps. Like, we are privileged in Huntsville to have some resources that are cheaper. Mm-hmm. But... any camp you go to is super expensive. Right.
Well, especially I bet you that horseback riding and that camp was probably expensive because it was, Yeah, it had horseback riding. I mean,
Yeah.
none of our camps have horseback riding.
Kalia asked if she could do a horseback ride. I looked into one here in town, but it is $250 for a week for a half-day camp.
Well, why don't we just take her like one day?
Yeah, I probably will end up doing that.
Because they have one, I think, on the mountain that there's a group on.
Yeah, I've seen. You do trail riding.
Yeah, I'd do it. I don't know if I've told my horseback riding story over the
podcast.
On the podcast, over the airwaves.
Yeah, over the airwaves.
Yeah, I'm so fucking old. But we went horseback riding when I was in Germany, and we, for some reason, which is the stupidest reason, biggest horse was first in line, and then I had like a pony at the end of the line.
Okay.
So I'm last.
Right.
So I'm youngest, and I'm last.
Always a good combination.
Yeah. And then my horse just kind of stopped suddenly.
Okay.
And was like, I
bitch.
think I want to eat some grass.
So you got left?
So I'm just sitting there on this horse, and I'm like, hey, I don't want to like hurt you, or like I don't want to like kick the sides, like go, or like pull on the reins too much, or anything like that, because I love animals, so I never want to hurt an animal. So I'm just kind of like bouncing and come on baby, let's go, and its head is just down eating grass. So I'm like, well shit, what do I do now? So then I get off the horse. And I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna pull too hard, but we gotta go. They're down. Like I can't see them no more,
girl.
And I'm pulling on the reins, and I'm just like freaking out, not knowing what to do, and he or she, I can't remember what type of horse I was on.
Damn horse.
Was like, fuck you, bitch. I want my grass. I'm not. So I just sat down on the ground. And I just cried because I was like, I don't know what else to do. No one's coming for me. I don't see nobody. Like, the horse is just grazing and it doesn't stop. And luckily, some guy, which probably not the best, but some guy was like, what's going on? So I actually spoke German at the time. So I was like, the horse just stopped and wanted to eat and didn't want to go anywhere, even with me pulling it. So he got off his horse, and I guess he was firmer with the reins. Got the horse to go, and then we walked back because it wasn't that far into the trip, to be honest.
Oh, you poor.
And so I am just like sitting at this picnic table because they have, in Germany, they have beer gardens where there's like huge like picnic tables, and you just drink beer and eat bratwurst and just have a good old time. And dude bought me an ice cream. So I'm just sitting there eating this ice cream, tears still just like, because I'm like, where's my mama? And then big horse comes and everybody starts coming and they're like, what are you doing here? And I'm like,
y'all left me.
I was mad.
I bet.
And I'm like, he stopped. You didn't come back. I was like, this guy is really, really nice and he bought me ice cream. But why didn't you look for me? I was so mad and sad. It was just a whole combination of things. And my mama, she was just like, baby, I'm so sorry. Like my aunt's coming over to me, my uncle, like it was a family thing.
I bet they felt so guilty.
My father just went and got a beer, so he didn't really care. But they were just like, we are so sorry. We did not know. And I was like, why would you put me last?
Seriously. Why wouldn't they put you like
in the middle or in somewhere where...
Or next to a parent.
Somewhere where someone would know I've stopped.
Christ.
Or like have a guide in the back and a guide in the front, and then that way you have all the people. But anyways, so that was my horseback riding. And I did not like that at all. It wasn't a camp, so I know that's not part of the camp story.
Yeah, that's
but
still a good story.
I would still go with Kalia
Yeah, no, I
and
definitely
go ride a horse because I'm bigger now. And I'd be like, y'all, I'm in the middle. Yep. I don't care.
Kalia's in front of Jennifer.
Yep.
I'll take her the back.
There you go. You take up the rear. We're good. But yeah, I would do that with her.
Yeah.
Not a camp, because I think you said the camp was like not even a full day, right? Wasn't it like a lot of money for like a few hours?
Yeah, it's like $250 a week for half day camps, and I mean, I'm always amazed. Like, you know, you see like The Parent Trap or those other fucking movies where kids are a week and they have these cabins. Those things are like $2,000 to $3,000 a week, and I'm like, how the fuck are y'all? I mean, it's like, I could probably afford it. I was like, I'm not paying that much for a goddamn kid to go, unless I was a billionaire or something.
Right.
I was like, fuck y'all.
Yeah, and you know, and I always wanted to go to a camp because there were so many movies, like 80s, early 90s, when it would have been like my time to go, that I wanted to do that.
They actually have adult camps now. Like, not like weird sex ones like Zane and I go to sometimes, but no, like they have like
adult summer camp.
Yeah, like where you do arts and crafts, you do like wilderness shit, you do horseback riding. Yeah,
canoeing and because I don't know, there was this one. I don't remember the name of the movie. Zane would know, but it was like a bunch of fat kids. They did not want to go to any of the camps that the parents set up for them, so they made up like their own camp, and they had this thing called like the Blob, and you had like a really high platform and a big, it was just like an air, like kind of like you know, when it was like a big air mattress, and then so one person's on the end and another person jumps off the platform and like launches you in the air. Yep. Man, I wanted to, like, I saw that and I'm like, I want to do that. Like, I want to go and just hang out. And yeah, I always wanted to do it.
Well, all right. Let's make a vow. We'll maybe for some year or some big birthday, we'll do a summer camp for when the kids are out of the fucking house.
There you go. I don't know if my body could handle the Blob on that. We'll just do the easy stuff.
Yeah, we'll do archery and
there you go.
Arts and crafts. We'll make a ugly clay pot or mug for your mom.
The musical at the end, you know, all that good stuff.
All right, so I think it's probably a good transition spot.
Okay.
So for all the listeners, if you have any funny stories about your kids,
or if you need some bad parenting advice, or if you have any ideas for topics, please.
Or if you think we should get a voicemail number so y'all can leave stories, let us know.
Yeah.
Please email us at guidetopoorparenting@gmail.com.
And that's where you will let us know. Please and thank you.
Please and thank you.
All right. So we've had our snack.
So we're going to do a quick break and we'll be right back.
Yeah, sorry.
Bye, y'all. And we're back.
Sorry. I completely missed the break. I was like, yeah, we've drank. Now what are we eating, Jason?
We are eating, so it is in Alabama, it is February 16th currently, and it is Girl Scout. Bless them Girl Scouts. They're out and about hawking them wares, and Zane was a sweetheart and bought me a box of Thin Mints, and we went to Kroger this morning, and I was like, ooh, I'm going to get some Samoas for Jennifer, because I know she had a rough week.
That's my favorite. Thank you. You're welcome. The best.
And I didn't want to steal Zane's, so...
We've stolen a lot of Zane's stuff. Not stolen. We've used.
No, I'll steal, because he's my husband. Whatever. So, yeah.
But yeah, Samoas are definitely my favorite. And I do want to... not sponsor, but like help them.
Yeah, I mean
they're out there in the cold because it was like 37 degrees this morning.
Yeah,
so.
It was cold as shit. It was windy as hell.
Yeah, and so these little girls.
Yeah, they're
out at all the stores trying to sell some cookies and get their little prizes or whatever they get, and
bless them.
And I like the cookies, so.
All right, so we've had our snack time. Now it's story time. So this one's mine.
Yep, your turn.
And this happened. When did this happen?
This happened yesterday.
Oh, that's right. Yesterday was busy as hell.
It sure as hell was. It was a very, very long but productive day.
Yeah. So Kalia, she had like, I had told her to empty out her dresser because she had a bunch of fucking clothes that she can't wear anymore. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, please go through your drawers, get rid of stuff you can't wear.
Right.
One whole bag. And I was like, I went into her room the other day and you couldn't even close her drawers. It was so packed full of shit. And I was like, you didn't go through your drawers like I asked you. So I just dumped everything on the floor. We looked through everything and got rid of like all her shorts. Because she has like 2 pairs of shorts that are like booty ass hoochie shorts for an 11-year-old.
Right.
And I was like, okay, let's go to the thrift store, get you some more shorts. Because all you got right now are these things that are like showing off like the world's your gynecologist at the moment.
Right.
So we went to the thrift store and I made her try everything on and we're going to check out. And she's just give me some attitude. She's trying to be funny, but she's giving me some attitude. Mm-hmm. And I looked at the cashier. I was like, ma'am. And she's probably this 20-year-old young black lady. Kind of reminds me of my daughter. I was like, ma'am, would you like an irascible 11-year-old?
What?
Irascible.
Irascible?
That's not what I said. Irascible just means like...
Is it a irascible?
Irascible.
Or irascible?
I think it's IR.
I've never heard that word before.
It doesn't matter. I didn't say irascible. I think I said, would you like an 11-year-old with a lot of attitude? And Clea's like, oh, you trying to sell me? I was like, no, girl, I'm giving you away. And she's like, I'm at least $200. And I look at the cashier. I looked at her. I was like, baby, we haven't done that in over 200 years. And the cashier about peed herself laughing. So I was like, okay, that was funny.
Yes. And when you told me that story, you didn't tell me about the cashier. And I was like, was the cashier black? And you were like, yes. I'm like, okay, good. That makes more sense. And that is funny.
What was even funnier is that as we were leaving the store, Clea's like, was that a slavery joke? I'm like, yes. Yes, that was a slavery joke. Glad you caught on, finally.
Oh, Lord.
Bless her.
Love her. Bless her heart.
Bless her. All right. So thanks for listening to another episode of A Guide to Poor Parenting.
If you like our podcast, please give us a 5-star rating on whatever platform you're listening on.
And if you don't like our podcast, just like when our kids ask why they have to go to summer school, even though they have a 54% in math after they've been lying consistently about doing their homework.
Tough shit.
God damn it, stop lying.
Don't lie. Do your fucking work, and then you would not have to go to another, summer camp for fucking math.
God damn it.
God damn it. Kids.
Bye, y'all.
All right, bye, guys.